I want to do a little book review of a book called Imagine Heaven, a New York Times bestseller by John Burke, B-U-R-K-E, with a foreword by Don Piper. And I want to give a good review to this book. It's absolutely riveting. When you start reading it, you can't put it down, because it's about something called an NDE, a near-death experience, and so many people have had one. This is where you stop breathing, your heart stops beating, your eyes are closed, the paramedics are working on you, but you're dead. Yet at the same time, you're watching them. You're hovering near the ceiling, looking down. You're seeing all the frantic activity, the people screaming, the ambulance, the paramedics, all the pounding on your chest and all this, and you're watching it. This has happened to so many people. The difference between this book and other books on the subject is this guy did a lot of research. He talked to doctors. He did a lot of what you would call medical research. And then, of course, he went through the Bible to try to see what the Bible says about these things, to see if there's any biblical corroboration. Let me just read this one little paragraph. It's about a doctor named Dr. Sabom, and he's talking about a patient named Pete Morton. Pete told me he had left his body during his first cardiac arrest and had watched the resuscitation. When I asked him to tell me what actually he saw, he described the resuscitation with such detail and accuracy that I could have later used the tape to teach physicians. Pete remembered seeing a doctor's first attempt to restore his heartbeat. And he goes on and he describes this. And they did a study where they had two different groups. People who had had near-death experiences describing the resuscitation efforts, and people who never had a near-death experience but were trying to sort of make it up based on movies, things they had seen, secondhand medical knowledge or whatever. And the people who tried to sort of give a made-up, imagined description of resuscitation could not get even close to what was going on. But the people that had had the near-death experience were able to do that. Now, this book will help you if you are suffering from thanatophobia and have great fear of death. And when you know that you're a believer, but you're still very nervous about leaving this world, when you delve into this book, you will find a great relief in the people who have gone before you, so to speak, into that undiscovered country that Hamlet speaks about in his soliloquy, to be or not to be. That country has been discovered. The near-deathers have discovered it and come back to talk about it. And of course, Yeshua HaMashiach gives us an authoritative description. In my Father's house are many mansions. I heartily recommend this book. It talks about the near-death experience of many different people. And it is quite exciting to read what they experienced. We have in our ministry a man who had such an experience. His name is William Cintron. He had a heart attack when he was at the gym, and his heart stopped 4 times. And 4 times he had to be resuscitated. And he talks about what happened to him. And it's very similar to these experiences. We have to think about beyond this world. Listen, friend, we're only here 70, 80, 90 years at the most. And There are millions of years before we came into this world and millions of years afterwards, perhaps. But we need to find out what will happen with our soul when we leave this body. And this book is an eye-opener. It also gets you into the Bible. And you review all the scriptures regarding these things. And so I want to heartily, seriously recommend this book. We plan on giving away thousands of copies. If you're watching this YouTube video and you want a copy of this book, if you will send us your shipping address, we will send you a copy free of charge. God bless you.